So building a business is usually done from the perspective of the one building the business out of a money problem. So most businesses are started to solve a money problem. And when we look at the underlying reason why someone would decide to build an online business, it is usually because they're either fed up with their job, or perhaps they want to actually pursue something they love doing by building a business. So those are several reasons why you would be wanting to build a business. So in this video series, we will look at how you can build an online business from scratch. And what we will do in this first video is look at what the driving forces are behind building your own business. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Luc Nicolas Villachrétien and I'm the founder of Business Mastery. And the goal of this channel is to help aspiring entrepreneurs and business owners build an online business and achieve business mastery and success. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, and let's get started. Look, most businesses are launched and started to achieve one goal only, and that goal is to make lots of money. But what I found to work even better than starting a business just to make ideally lots of money is to start it based on your why. And that why is a totally different approach to starting an online business. And you might be thinking, what is your why? So if you have a good think about why you do certain things in life, for example, why do you do a specific sport that you choose to do? For example, maybe you love the fact that there is team play or that it is physically challenging. And also perhaps you love, I don't know, cooking healthy or eating healthy, and you love to constantly find new ingredients. Or for example, why would you choose to pursue that new job with a higher salary? So in every decision we make in our life, there's an underlying motivator, there's an underlying driver for that decision. And that is actually how we achieve results in life. We base our decision making based on our underlying driver, our underlying, let's say, motivator for making that decision. And that is the same with business. In business, we have these underlying motivators which determine what kind of business we actually want to build or pursue to build and grow. And also the fact that many business owners actually pursue building a business based on the sole reason of actually making lots of money or becoming financially successful. That is a completely different approach to what I want to look at in this video. So actually I already mentioned it, but there are two basic drivers for building out a business. That is the model for basically earning a lot of money, making money, and the intrinsic drivers, that is your why, your purpose. So the money aspect is actually extrinsic. So it is a motivator that comes outside of you. Whilst the finding your purpose and building your business based on your passion and your purpose is actually something which is an intrinsic motivator, and it comes from inside of you. So those are actually two very different approaches to building business. I've set up this visual model to show you how the money and the why are both drivers of your business. And ideally you combine both. So we all need money in order to be able to provide, to put food on the table, to buy clothes, to pay for a house, to go on holiday. These are all essential primary and secondary needs we have as humans. But when you would have to design an ultimate business, taking in mind and keeping in mind your why is actually a very powerful exercise. So the combination of using both the extrinsic motivator and intrinsic motivator is actually a much stronger driver for business success, because you have simply much more possibilities for motivation. You have the motivation that comes from inside of you and the motivation that comes from external factors wanting to be rewarded financially. So actually I would advise always, like I mentioned, pursue both, have both clearly in mind. So finding your why or why you do certain things is actually a very important part into finding clarity. So like I mentioned before, we humans all have a specific underlying motivator for why we do things. For example, why we chose that specific sport, like I mentioned before. So we have the intrinsic and extrinsic motivators that drive us. Like I presented in the model, we have these two drivers that actually make sure that we spend our time on achieving those goals. That's basically how the mind works. The mind works knowing that, okay, I need to make money, so I will pursue a business opportunity that can make me money, instead of I have a clear desire to be able to help people find 1, 2, and 3. That's a totally different approach to building and growing a business. So to help give context with regard to discovering your why, which I personally find is a much stronger motivator over the long term, especially if you go long term, 10, 20, 30 years, pursuing or building and growing a business based on solely the purpose of achieving money. I can guarantee you that will dry up very quickly. That motivation will be very, very limited in several years. Why? Because we humans are we need constant new impulses. We need to be incentivized. We need to have a challenge. And when you have a pursuit of money, basically the business that you build is not a representation of who you truly are. So you're not actually manifesting or exploiting what you are, what you're passionate about. No, you're actually serving only the business itself. So instead of the business is serving you, you are serving the money. You are serving making the money. And in despite of you having actually having a deep desire to, for example, to help people helping people achieve a specific goal. So to give you a quick idea of what the possible why drivers you have, which we'll discuss in another video, you will have a great idea of what is possible. So if you look at this visual, we can see that your purpose, your why, which drives you, could be, for example, to contribute in a society, or contribute to a specific scientific area, or, for example, could be to trust, for example, to be of a person of trust to other people, like, for example, psychologists are. Or, for example, your goal, your driving force would be to simplify things, make things that are complicated simple. Perhaps your goal is to find a better way. For example, you want to find a better way to lose weight, or the right way. You want people to be able to learn and educate them in the right way, in a way that they really remember things and that they can actually use those things that they have learned. For example, your goal could be to make sense, to make sense of complex things. For example, to make sense of why do we live? Why do we need relationships? For example, you could also have a driving force that is to challenge people. Perhaps you love to challenge people to get to a higher level. Perhaps you're a coach, football coach, whatever, soccer coach, and you want to help people to challenge to get to their highest level, which is also related to mastery, which is something that I love doing, helping people attain the highest level of skill and understanding of a specific skill or topic. And for example, you could also help people with clarification. For example, which is actually an example of this model, helping people to clarify what their life's purpose is, that they then translate into a business, into building a business. So these 9 driving forces, you could also actually invent several others, but let's keep it simple. So this model will help you in clarifying what it is that you actually want to achieve with building your business. So I am a strong advocate of actually seeing it this way. You do not build a business that in order to serve that business. You build a business so that it can serve you as a person, so that you can grow, you can exploit your skills, your talents, your knowledge, and eventually make you financially wealthy. So keep in mind these drivers the next time you have a strategic thinking session about what it is that you want to build on and found your business on. So think about well and deeply about what it is that you can relate the strongest to. For example, let's say you relate to simplifying things. So you simplify things, and that already gives you a direction into what and how you want to be serving others. A question that I want that you ask yourself is, if you already have a business currently, are you doing that? Are you building that business? Are you growing that business just because you want to make more money? Or are you actually doing it because you're realizing, or are you doing it because you're realizing your true purpose, your true self? I know it is a big question to ask yourself, but truly take the time to think about it. I think it will pay off big dividends in the long run in your life. Why? Because choosing a business just based on the money is like entering a carousel. You go for the first best opportunity that perhaps other people are pursuing, and you do the same because you see there is money in it. But eventually, the carousel becomes boring. You see that, okay, I've done this game, I've played this game, I'm on to the next one. What happens is you exit the carousel and enter the next one, and basically that's the process. What happens? You end up entering, exiting, never being really fully satisfied, and as a consequence, also financially, you won't have the optimal situation that you could as a business owner. So in the next video in the How to Build a Business from Scratch series, I will be looking at how you can discover your true purpose and passion, and how you can combine that with the questions of who do you serve, what do you serve them with, in which market, and to actually get started on getting more traction and actually getting your business launched. So if you found this video valuable, then hit the subscribe button, hit the like, respond to some comments, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.